There's a heck of a lot of new things that have been added to the base game ARK for you to find new ways to play, and well, we're going to look at specifically all of the brand new quality of life additions, and there's a lot of them. Right, so first up, you can see I'm wearing a brand new set of armor. It's a skin, but you can unlock this in the game, as well as a variety of different skins. We already covered this really in a previous video, but just to quickly recap, all of these skins here, you can now unlock by doing the milestones. All the milestones will unlock every single one of these skins. They also reward you a very cool looking shotgun skin as well, but there's going to be a lot of milestones for you to do. This is definitely my favorite skin of the set, and as well as doing the milestones, you'll also unlock this Rex saddle skin here. Very cool. We already showed this one off as well, but all of these saddles over here are unlocked by other means. You gotta basically do as many outposts in the city as possible, and it seems to be location based, not amount based. It's rested upon the different locations of where each city outpost spawns. If you do that specific location, it seems that that's how you unlock that saddle. As well as doing as many outposts as possible, you eventually unlock one of several Mei Yin explorer notes to watch and figure out how her story unfolds from Aberration to Extinction and what happens to Helena. But yeah, the saddles are definitely worthy of the reward. Of course, a replication of the different saddles you're seeing from the creatures ridden by the lost colonists, and they're amazing. They're definitely a very cool new addition, a worthy progressional milestone to unlock once you've beaten those specific different outposts. I love this. I love that there's brand new rewards for you to obtain. I think these are all of the missions. I don't think I've missed one. Oh, I love the dire bear saddle, by the way. That one looks amazing. I love that. That's really, really cool. Definitely. You're going to be wanting to get these in your life, without a doubt. I don't doubt for a second. Obviously, you won't have to download any skins to use these. These will be automatically unlocked for you to use. Of course, the Thyla especially is going to be one a lot of people are going to be looking forward to. I don't doubt for a second. As well as the Rhino. The Rhino looks amazing as well. And that's your skin game. Speaking of skin game, upon booting up Lost Colony, you'll get a new structure skin to apply to new structures, all your structures there, and this thing is gorgeous, which some have variants, some don't. Definitely a cool new addition that really does work well with these new Citadel type areas, without a doubt, which you can obviously apply to gates as well. Oh, I love this. With no variants to them, but there are for the standard foundation pieces. Stairs, walls and ceilings for you to adorn. I love these. These are very cool. In fact, no, the only variants you're going to get are the walls. You get a default, a variant A, and a variant B, which seem to cover every single structure type. I haven't noticed any discrepancies yet. Anything missed, I think you can do every normal structure tile set. What's really curious, what I kind of half expected, was this to be working on some of these crafting stations as well, seeing that there's quite a lot of different variants within the city, but I don't think you can, and I don't think there's a way to. As far as I've seen, I've looked into it, can't figure it out so far. If somebody does figure it out though, I'd love to know, and comment below if you do. But yeah, there's a load of structures here to check out as well. Going through them one by one, of course, we've got brand new lights to use, which supports a lovely little glow there. A desk light, ceiling light, and wall light, which definitely set the mood, set the theme. Look at that. That looks amazing. In fact, let me just put the top piece on. Yeah, man, that definitely sets a different vibe. Very cool. There's your lighting anyway. You've got this thing here, the pet nest, of which is going to come in really handy for any of your shoulder pets. Here's one here on my shoulder. Sporting the brand new Arctic armor set, of which you can unlock yourself. It's a pretty low level, a go-between hide and flak, that when equipping all, you'll be given a new Arctic armor buff, which offers you a 50% reduction to stamina consumption when sprinting. Obviously ideal in a map like this when you're running away from all manners of death. A really cool armor piece, definitely needed for this map because of how blooming cold it is anywhere and everywhere. And unlocked at level 19 and going to require a bit of pelt if you're planning to make any of these, as well as some metal and crafted in a smithy. Speaking of armor, there is also a snow ghillie set now as well, which is going to make you blend into the snow very well. Oh, I love this. This is such a removal. When I heard the word ghillie, I was like, how is this going to look? Because, you know, ghillie and grass. Snow ghillie exists. I just couldn't imagine what it was going to look like. But I guess in the right circumstances, you could blend in well. Here, not so much. Here's some actual snow to crawl in, which doesn't camouflage us too well. But I'm guessing if we start going through some bushes, we become a bit more invisible. I mean, we're not completely invisible. It's not as... It doesn't feel as hidden as the other ghillie sets, to be honest. But then again, there you go, straight away. Once you're in a bit of bushery... I won't lie, I was kind of hoping that when you're out in the snow, you would be completely invisible. But you're not missing this. Oh, man. I couldn't even tell where I was for a second then. I was hidden behind a big clump of snow. Yeah, that's pretty good, dudes. That's difficult to notice. You get about here and you wouldn't even know. You'd run straight past me. I look forward to using this for some trolling purposes, without a doubt. Look at that. That's applied to your ghillie, by the way, by simply going to your cosmetics tab and clicking on ghillie. You'll find it down there as a new section for you to unlock, as well as these other skins that we just showed off before. They're all going to be in the Lost Colony folder. You'll find them all there for you to use once you've got them all unlocked, as well as the saddles. They'll be there in a brand new saddles folder as well. Oh, and speaking of armor and equipping of that, there's brand new slots for you to access within your inventory. You'll notice 3 on the top left, 3 on the top right, and well, the bottom one's still your slot for your chibi, as it's always been. But these slots up here are very interesting because now one is just for your glider, one is for your motor attachments, and one is for a cape. So you can now equip all 3 pieces at once. I love that. That's really cool. You haven't got to mismanage and have your skins looking all over the shop now. You can wear all 3 things at once. You can cape fly, wingsuit, and belt buckle over any and every armor type that you want without it looking a bit weird. I love that. Unfortunately, these 3 up here, nobody knows, and I've tried to figure it out myself. I've looked at so many things. I'm getting a feeling maybe Wildcard are prepping it for something else that's not in the game yet. There just doesn't seem to be anything that goes into these 3 slots. So maybe Wildcard are cooking up something, or maybe there is still something hidden in the game that we haven't figured out yet. But very, very cool new additions, which means, of course, now they've got their own durability, which isn't tied to armor. So there's pros and cons with that. Obviously, you know, now you can't assign your glider suits to a high durability piece of armor, and you may need to actually carry more than one glider suit at once. But it's cool. So anyway, back to these pet nests, a brand new feature to put your pets on, which apparently aren't just an aesthetic feature. I thought it was just to display your pets and look cool, but when interacting, if we press E, we can see our winter dragon available there that we can attach it to. And oh, there he is. You're right, mate. Of which we can pet and get a lovely little animation. Creates better storage, of course. We can rotate them to make them look in different directions. And you can place your shoulder pets directly on them from your shoulder, which you can pick them straight back up, put them back on your shoulder. And when in close proximity, you'll notice on this companion here, our Valwyn here, there's a new shield icon, which means it's in range of the pet display. And whilst it's in range, apparently they'll get more experience and health over time. And they don't just come in this version here. You can cycle through different variants and have wall variants if you prefer, instead of square or circle, as well as different square stands, as well as this one here in particular being a companion bed. So when you put one of these in your base and you've got an issue where your Valwyn's just in your way or it's stuck somewhere in your base, you can now just press E and click on your Valwyn, and there it is, and it'll go straight to your bed and be out of your way until you're ready to go. Of which you can have it on auto mode if you prefer. So if we clear the Valwyn off and we make sure it's on auto mode instead, we'll just go a bit away from the place and then come back to it. And it should hopefully rest in the bed. Well, from what I understand, it should hopefully just auto-rest in there. I guess we can just click on it. And then if we go out of render range, there we go, it'll teleport to us. That's great. That's brill. Meaning, finally, your companion... Oh, there it is! And now it's auto-rested. Now we've got within render range. That's how it's going to work. That's wicked. Oh, I love that. So that just means that thing's never going to be in your way when you come back to base. It's just going to teleport straight to the bed, stay there until you go in and out of render of your base. I love that. That's really, really cool. Great new feature. We got this that we already showed off quite a little bit, the medical stand, that if you press E on it, you've got a variety of different options, which you can't really do much with here. But if we bring it over to our creatures over here, we can now attach creatures to it. And when we do, we'll begin to inflict torpor on the torpor setting, and then changing to create blood packs. We'll now start sucking the literal life out of this Spino and create blood packs within the medical stand. Just obviously be mindful of that health. Of which, if we need to heal on the fly, we can now click heal creature. And watch that health go up with a nice, lovely syringe stuck in its face. A great way to heal creatures there, rather than having to just stand at base and sit on your snow owl, of which you can do, hopefully, more than one at a time. I guess if you've got more of these, then you can heal many at the same time. And there we go. We've got a few things we want to heal. Get our boss fighters all healed and ready for the next boss fight. We can do that. More syringes to get our creatures healed, ready for what's to come. I'm surprised there's not a limit on these. I don't know whether these create much server stress or not. I get a feeling they might. And the other two settings, as you probably figured out, if you've got a creature that's got a lot of torpor dealt to it, if you've got a creature here that you just knocked out, and if its torpor starting to look a bit ropey, we can choose torpor mode, attach that to the Rex, and now watch that torpor fly up, meaning narcos are no longer a thing for taming ever again. Look at that. You will want to make sure you put some narcotics within your medical stand, of which is going to drain those out and put them into your creature. But what that does mean is you're not going to overspend your narcotics anymore. It'll consume one at a time until that narcotic has run out, which is really cool. That's a really effective way, cost-efficient way of using your narcotics in future, rather than having to just waste too many being spent. But let's say its timing effectiveness is screwed, like I just did there, with the weapon I'll show you in a minute. We can select instead wake up, which is great. No longer do you have to sit around waiting for the longest time for a creature to re-wake up so you can re-knock it back out. But it will be at the cost of stimulants, worth noting. But again, a really cost-efficient way of doing it, because you're not going to just have to spam the stimulants. It's going to feed the stimulants it needs until the thing is woken up. I love that. That's very cool. Then we've got the new Holo Grenade, a pretty cool device that, when thrown, it makes a little hologram version of you without hair that you can use in a hurry for a very limited time, but definitely allowing you to escape some moments, though kind of expensive to be made and will be needed to be made in a smithy. But very cool nonetheless. Definitely something to distract wilds from if you need to get away in a hurry. Although I kind of like the fun of trying to get away with my own device. Then we've got the brand new crossbow. Look at this monster. A giant new crossbow that I've been wondering for the longest time what its purpose is going to serve over a regular crossbow. The reload animation is amazing, and if we hold reload, we can select fabricated crossbow weapon options and select between any arrow or any bolt now, which is really cool. Which means we can fire spear bolts from this thing, which might do some monstrous damage. And I guess that's the big one, the ability to fire spear bolts without them dropping too quick like they do from a harpoon. Let's have a look. I don't know, that fell. There's still quite a bit of drop on these. Yeah, they've still got the same drop, which kind of sucks. But I'm noticing a rapid fire of harpoons now, which is pretty cool. And that reload is pretty hot as well. That's way quicker than the crossbow. That when switching to a normal arrow, you can see, look at the range on that. That shoots far and that shoots fast. I'm curious with the metal arrow. What are we looking at here? Right, we see a RG out there. There's still some drop. It's not. There's definitely quite a bit of drop on it. I gotta say, I do prefer the feeling of pulling back a bow and the strength of shooting one out. This one, it's hard to judge, but it's obviously early days, and I've run out of arrows. All right, that gives us a better perspective. You can actually see where these are going now. I mean, that's pretty far. That is pretty far, dude. The rapid fire of the fire arrows is insane. I guess the joy of this is the use of underwater. So just testing the damage on a metal arrow on something. I love that. That's really cool. There we go. Not bad. 545 for a headshot. 181 per shot with a metal arrow. In comparison with a primitive compound bow, we're looking at 5, 215. So less damage than a compound bow. But I'm noticing if you hold reload, you can change its mode from a standard to a marksman and a spread. So, marksman. Okay. There's some definite drop to this thing. Well, there we go. It's certainly not as bad of a drop as most things. Yeah, that's pretty good, without a doubt. Yeah, this is going to take some practice. And then we got a spread mode, which I'm going to guess is it's shotgun mode, right? Oh my god. Oh, that's the one. Oh, shotgun with metal arrows. Bro, that I can pick back up as well. Oh, okay. That's the one. The shotgun mode's the one. Because it's ammo you can get back as well. Oh, mate. Yeah, we've got a Rex here. Oh my god. Yeah, that's filth. Shotgun mode's the one, man. Oh! Yep, that's the one. Alright, that is definitely what I'm using this for. That's some big damage. And ammo, again, that you can pick back up. This is where this gun comes into play, perhaps more than anything. You've got a heavy dealing weapon without a doubt. Then, of course, the return of the template tool. We already know what this is, but I was kind of interested if the new templates have been added now. I can see a featured tab, and there they are. So the new templates that were community submitted are now available for you to make. I wonder if they're going to add more to this. But yeah, if you want your own frontier cabin or luxurious residential base, you can now. Being built by some very esteemed, talented builders out there. Alright, cool. The tech bunker is, of course, returning, but we've seen that before a few times. There's a lot to get through here. And then we got this, the Cryo Hospital. That is counted as a tech structure, so you will need tech unlocked, of course, to use this thing. And obviously a Jenny running it, but once done, we can turn the thing on, creating a cool new animation. And any creatures we cryo, such as this Valwyn that's got barely any health, I think he's got 100 health, that's looking a bit ropey, we can chuck in here now. And watch that health, as well as its food, replenish tenfold. Healing at a much quicker rate than it would normally anyway else. As well as that, it apparently offers more experience to anything within these things. So if you've got some boss creatures you want to get leveled ready for that, you can put these in here, as well as reducing any torpor inflicted to your creature too. It's not like rapid health recharge, but it's not bad. It's definitely a lot quicker than you would find normally on vanilla. And definitely, of course, food is a big one. Looking at some creatures where, you know, you've got Daedons in particular that you need an alarming amount of food to replenish. Now, this is the way you can do it with a Daedon instead of having to actually feed it food. I love that. That's very cool. And then we got this thing, the Bloodforge, a fascinating structure indeed. We've played around with this a little bit up until this point. This is going to be how you make your elements. At its bare introduction, you can put any red elements that you've obtained and turn it into exsanguinated red elements to then turn into 2 elements. You get a 2 for 1. You get 2 corrupted. Basically, this is corrupted elements that will, once spoiled, turn into regular elements for you to use. You can also use this to make red element dust as well as red element shards. No doubt if you've already seen the Solwyn or Malwyn videos, this is where you put your Vulpite into corrupt, which requires red element shards, and then clicking on this button here to turn it into corrupted Vulpite. But the big one, of course, is any item you put in this thing, you can add extra durability to, which basically means that's going to last for a little bit longer, for a longer duration, and then that can apply to anything and everything. So once you've got the necessary resources that you need, you're going to click on that item and click reinforce item, and that's going to corrupt it to offer it that extra durability, to give it just that extra long life so it doesn't break too quick, which really does come into some useful areas. Looking at Rockwell in particular, that's a great opportunity to have a higher durability on a weapon, definitely. And of course, gear is a good thing to reinforce as well, because that means it's gonna have less opportunity to break on you, of which, if you've got the mats for it, you can simply click on reinforce all and it'll automatically reinforce anything that's in there for you on its behalf, as well as auto repair. So anything we pop in this thing and we click on auto repair, as long as the stuff's in there, it's going to automatically repair the gear for you. That is glorious to see. I love that. And also will repair anything completely broken, but only anything that you put in the Bloodforge. Love that. That's a really cool, awesome feature. Save you messing about having to individually repair stuff on the fly. You can just throw it all in here to get repaired as and when. Which I'm curious, does it work with a dedicated storage? Which I'm curious if having dedicated storage nearby, will this work still? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. So it will wirelessly feed from your dedicated storage and throw up little icons there as it was doing that. Did you see that? That was nice. That's cool. The ability to pull wirelessly from dedicated storage is amazing. Very cool. Right. And that's that. Worth noting, it is crafted in a replicator, so it looks like you're going to need tech if you're planning to use this thing. So, you know, it's a bit of a way away. I'm just seeing that mana there in the distance. Don't you dare come this way. And then we got this interesting new station I haven't checked out until now, which is the Warbench. This one you can make in a fabricator, so you don't need tech to use. A really cool looking new station with its own new little imagery on there as well. And clicking it, it does look a lot like the Tinkering Station. But what I'm curious about here is, so let's say we got a bunch of shotguns that are pretty useless to us. We can throw them all in there, press combine. And as long as we get above 120, it's the same as the Tinkering Station. It's the same as the Tinkering Station. We're not really seeing much of an advantage, but there's a reroll opportunity here that's going to be able to possibly re-roll it with new stats, as long as we've got the right resources in here. So with the re-roll option available, there seems to be a chance to get a better quality, but also a 25% chance to fail and a 20% to get a worse stat. So there's some serious RNG with this one. Okay, so that was a worse stat. We'll go again. That was a better stat. Oof. Oof. It even did a horrible clunk. Oof. Another clunk. But I guess if you've got the available resources and you just want to play around with them to see if you can get better ones, why not? This is something we're going to have to definitely have a proper look at, more in depth, to get a better understanding. but you can improve stuff. There we go. Just be proven right here, right there. You just saw it yourself. It's pretty much the tinkering station, but for actual crafting gear now. I like that. Why not, right? If you got stuff that you're just not bothered about, why not throw it in here and have a crack and see what happens? But it's definitely for unwanted items. I wouldn't be throwing stuff in here that I wanted to lose. No way. No way. Cool. Moving on to these here. Hello. The return of plant species are... They're back, baby. Harvestable via wild plants out there. They spawn in quite a lot of places. Here's us right now finding one out in this location here. It does seem that they spawn near the water in these corrupted sections. If you get looking around, you'll find them, and there is a random chance on which seed they'll give to you once you attempt to harvest it. But when you do, get ready, because an absolute arsenal of ass will come, spawn out and chase you to kingdom come. So be ready for that. But once you've got that, and you've got the ability to make a tech crop plot, so once again you're going to need to have tech unlocked, you can plant these babies, with these crop plots having way more slots for fertilizer than normal crop plots. But each one, once fully grown, and they do insta-grow as well. You don't even need irrigation. These things will insta-grow straight away. You've got one of 5 different options for you to go up to and hack away at. So, doing so, we'll see a health bar down there at the bottom. That will then leave that to recharge for a certain period of time to come back and grant you all the raw meat you're ever going to need. Going out harvesting for raw meat for breeding will never need to be a thing again, including, of course, prime meat, spore meat, fish meat, and raw prime fish meat, which obviously is definitely a benefit sometimes, because you know those imprint requirements. Having these on tap back in ARK is a joyous thing for breeders, without a doubt. Most definitely. Very, very welcomed additions back to Ascended, without a doubt. And then finally, other quality of life stuff at the very least. This thing right here, man, the Tech Spear, an unlockable item from beating the boss. It's a fun, very fun thing to use indeed. I've been playing about with this. That ability alone is fun. To just teleport, look at the ground, come in for a ground pound, and do that alone is super fun. Negating fall damage. Being able to move at a whim. Then, of course, having the ability to toss anything you want. So let's find something. Which you charge up and then you throw. And then you can hold right-click down to block, or deflect by holding left shift, or just spamming the melee button and raining hell in third-person Dark Souls combat in ARK, dude. That's crazy. This here as well, having your own lightsaber deflect, which I assume has to deflect bullets. Obviously, there's a stamina drain at the bottom there, you can see, that you need to be aware of. But this is too fun. It is just for movement. And that alone. You combine this with the Cosmo, the wingsuit. You've just got a way to completely... You've now got a way to just move wherever and whenever you want with these 3 items. It's so cool. Being able to pop out, teleport out of your glider suit as well, getting a bit of a boost, and just damage is not a thing anymore. Look at that, man. It's crazy. It's so fun. And then yeah, this, like, this, I am fascinated how this is going to go down on PvP. What we'll be seeing from this as a result. A very, very cool toy, and a lot of great new quality of life additions that I hope you're enjoying. I'm going to be looking at these in way more depth, so look forward to those videos in the near future. Until then, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and as always, peace out.